Have you ever looked into someone's eyes and felt that magnetic pull, the one that makes your chest tighten and your thoughts race? But you froze. You wanted to move closer, to say something, to let her know you felt it too, but you hesitated. You told yourself you needed the perfect moment, the perfect sign, the perfect line. But by the time you found your courage, the moment had already passed. She smiled less, the spark faded, and deep down, you wondered if you missed your chance. That hesitation, that small pause, is where most men lose connection. Not because they weren't attractive or interesting enough, but because they second-guessed what was already there. You see, hesitation isn't harmless. It communicates uncertainty, and uncertainty to a woman feels unsafe. She doesn't want perfection. She wants assurance. She wants to feel that you know what you want, and that you have the calm confidence to act on it. Psychologists call it approach anxiety. It's a deeply human fear that comes from the possibility of rejection. Your brain tries to protect you by imagining the worst outcomes: awkward silence, embarrassment, loss of respect. But what it doesn't tell you is that by doing nothing, you're already losing the opportunity. The cost of hesitation is invisible, but it's heavy. It's the memory of what could have been. When a woman is interested, she rarely tells you directly. Most of the time, she communicates through energy, subtle gestures, tone, and presence. She's testing if you can read what's unsaid, if you're emotionally attuned, grounded, and aware. Because to her, confidence isn't loudness. It's emotional clarity. It's the ability to sense the moment and respond with calm certainty. Think about it. Women are highly intuitive. They read your body language faster than your words. If you sit across from her, clearly drawn in but too afraid to express it, she'll feel that tension. She'll sense that conflict in your energy, and her instinct will interpret it as disinterest or confusion. The moment she stops feeling seen, she begins to withdraw emotionally, not out of spite, but out of self-protection. Hesitation kills attraction because it creates doubt, and doubt is the enemy of connection. When she's giving you the signals, lingering glances, playful smiles, small touches, and you freeze, she feels the emotional disconnect. It's not just about missing a kiss or a chance. It's about breaking the rhythm of chemistry that could have grown into something real. Confidence, on the other hand, doesn't mean forcing anything or rushing the moment. It means trusting your intuition. It's about feeling her energy, noticing her cues, and showing presence. The kind of presence that says, "I'm here with you. I'm not overthinking. I'm just being real." That calm energy is what makes a woman feel safe to open up, to reciprocate, to trust that she can lean into the moment. And here's the truth you rarely hear. Women want you to lead, not to control, not to dominate, but to initiate. When she likes you, she's waiting for that moment where you bridge the gap. Because deep down, she wants to feel chosen. She wants to feel that you're confident enough to act, but respectful enough to sense her comfort. That balance is what separates attraction from connection. So before you start learning the signs she's ready for you to make a move, remember this: it's not about being fearless. It's about being honest. The man who moves from authenticity, who speaks with intention and acts with respect, doesn't need the perfect line. He just needs to show up. Because the truth is, she's not looking for the man who plays it safe. She's waiting for the man who dares to be present. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you'll learn exactly how to recognize the moments when she's silently asking you to step forward, when her energy is saying yes, even if her words haven't yet. Once you understand these signs, hesitation won't hold you back anymore. You'll know when the connection is real, and you'll have the courage to act on it, with confidence, respect, and purpose. You can tell a lot about how a woman feels by how she looks at you. The eyes never lie. They reveal emotion long before words do. When a woman is drawn to you, her gaze tells the story her voice doesn't. You'll notice it in how her eyes find you across a room, how they linger a second longer than they need to, how they search your face as if memorizing it. That's not random. That's emotional gravity. Her attention is following her attraction. Most men overlook this because they're too busy trying to read her words instead of her energy. But attraction speaks in silence. one of the purest forms of nonverbal communication, and it's deeply wired into human psychology. When two people lock eyes, the brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. It creates instant emotional warmth, a sense of connection that can't be faked. It's the same chemical mothers release when holding their newborns or lovers feel in moments of closeness. It's trust. It's safety. It's connection at a primal level. So when she holds your gaze, she's giving you something powerful. It's not just a look, it's an opening. Her subconscious is saying, I'm curious. I feel something. And here's where most men go wrong. They look away. They break that connection too soon because they're afraid of being exposed, afraid of showing interest, or afraid of misreading the signal. But when you pull away, what she feels is your uncertainty. She reads that as a lack of confidence, and instantly, her emotional energy starts to cool. Holding her gaze doesn't mean staring her down. It's not dominance, it's presence. It's the ability to stay in that shared space calmly, grounded, comfortable in your own energy. When she meets your eyes and you hold that moment with a subtle smile, you're communicating something words could never match. You're saying, I see you, and I'm not afraid of being seen. That's confidence. That's emotional courage. A woman's attraction isn't built on appearance alone. It's built on how she feels in your presence. The eyes are her way of exploring that presence. She's studying your response. Are you nervous? Do you flinch away? Or do you breathe, stay open, and let her feel your calm energy? When you can hold that gaze without trying to force anything, she begins to feel emotionally safe around you. She begins to trust the connection because it feels natural, unspoken, real. This is how chemistry begins. It's not in the words you choose, the jokes you tell, or the stories you share. It starts in the silent rhythm between your eyes and hers. It's the pause between conversation, when neither of you feels the need to fill the space because the energy is already speaking. That's the space where attraction grows. And here's something important. Women use eye contact to test your emotional awareness. When she locks eyes with you, she's not just looking, she's observing how you respond. If you panic, you fail the test. If you pretend not to notice, you seem disconnected. But if you meet her gaze with relaxed confidence, with steady energy, you show emotional strength. You show that you're comfortable in the presence of intimacy. Eye contact is an invitation. It's her way of asking if you can meet her energy without retreating. When she glances, smiles, and lets her eyes linger, she's silently giving you permission to move closer, to engage, to connect. That's not friendliness, that's interest. That's her way of saying, I'm open, but I need you to lead. So the next time you notice her eyes holding yours, don't overthink it. Don't break it. Stay calm. Hold it with warmth. Let her feel that you're confident enough to be fully present in that moment. That simple act of staying connected through your eyes can shift everything. It's the spark that turns interest into connection, and connection into chemistry. Because the truth is, when a woman's eyes linger on you, she's not waiting for the perfect line. She's waiting for you to have the courage to meet her there, in that silent, electric moment where real attraction begins. When a woman wants you to make a move, her body doesn't just stay still, it gravitates toward you. Proximity is never an accident. It's one of the clearest and most instinctive signals of attraction. You'll notice it in the smallest details. She stands a little closer than necessary. She leans in when you speak. Her shoulder brushes yours. Her laughter pulls her body toward yours, as if she's drawn by something invisible. These are not coincidences. They're invitations written in movement. Human beings have an instinctive awareness of personal space. We keep distance from those we don't trust, and we close that distance with those who make us feel safe. Psychologists call this proxemics, the study of how people use space to communicate emotions. When she enters your space comfortably, she's revealing that she feels emotionally secure around you. That's one of the most powerful signals you can receive. Her body is saying what her words might not. I'm open to you. Most men miss this sign because they're too focused on words or waiting for something more obvious. But connection doesn't shout. It whispers. Her body language will always speak before her mouth does. The way she positions herself near you is her subconscious testing if you'll recognize her openness. If she moves closer and you step back, even slightly, she feels that rejection in her body. She interprets it as hesitation, and in that instant, the energy begins to cool. But if you respond naturally, by staying in that space with calm confidence, you validate her choice. You silently tell her, "You're safe here." Confidence isn't about making a sudden move, it's about holding your ground with ease. When she sits beside you instead of across from you, when she finds reasons to stand near you during a conversation, she's showing comfort, curiosity, and connection. You don't need to fill that space with nervous chatter or forced jokes. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply be still and present. Let her feel that you're comfortable with closeness. That emotional steadiness is what deepens attraction. Touch often begins accidentally. A brush of her hand against yours, a light contact on your arm while she laughs, a playful bump of shoulders. Each of those touches is a test of emotional safety. She's seeing how you respond. Do you flinch? Do you freeze? Or do you stay relaxed and reciprocate subtly, with respect and composure? When you respond calmly, her nervous system registers trust. It tells her body, "This man feels safe to be close to." That's when chemistry starts to transform into connection. Understand this. Attraction lives in rhythm, not rush. She doesn't want you to jump the moment she moves closer. She wants to feel that you can hold tension without breaking it, that you can sense her signals, mirror her comfort, and create a moment that feels natural rather than forced. This balance between awareness and restraint is what separates the confident from the uncertain. Women are emotional readers. They pick up on energy far faster than men realize. If you stay calm and grounded when she's near, your composure tells her everything she needs to know. It says you're not desperate for validation, but you're also not afraid of connection. That calm strength is magnetic. It draws her deeper into your space, not because you're trying to impress her, but because your energy feels stable. Every inch she moves closer is an unspoken invitation. Every shared laugh, every subtle touch, every lean of her body toward yours is her way of building trust and testing courage. When you match that energy by staying open, smiling, and responding with relaxed presence, you create emotional alignment. And that alignment is what unlocks the moment she's been waiting for. Because when she feels that connection physically and emotionally, she doesn't want to pull away. She wants you to meet her halfway, with quiet confidence and genuine intent. That's when she stops wondering if you'll make a move, and starts hoping that you will. When a woman feels drawn to you, her attention begins to narrow. You'll notice it in how she looks at you when you speak, how she listens, as if the world around her fades into the background. That kind of focus isn't random, it's intentional, emotional, and deeply instinctive. Her attention is a mirror of her attraction. When she's truly interested, she tunes into you in a way that feels different from everyone else. It's not about politeness, it's about presence, and presence is intimacy. Psychologists call it selective attention, the mind's ability to filter out distractions and prioritize what matters most emotionally. When she's attracted, her brain literally lights up in areas associated with reward and connection. She starts investing her mental and emotional energy into you. That's why conversations with her feel smoother, more connected, more alive. She remembers the little things you say, the stories you share, even the tone of your voice. She's not just listening, she's connecting. You'll know it's happening when her body language reflects her focus. Her torso turns toward you. Her knees or feet point in your direction. Her eyes stay locked on yours even in a crowded room. These physical cues reveal her emotional alignment. They show she's not just present physically, she's anchored in your energy. And here's what many men don't realize. When she gives you that level of attention, she's not only showing interest, she's creating space for you to lead. This is where confidence must shift from theory to action. You don't need to force anything, but you do need to respond. Match her focus with your own. Put your phone away. Maintain eye contact. Let her feel that her energy is being received, not ignored. When you give her the same depth of attention she's giving you, the connection amplifies. You both enter a shared emotional rhythm, one where conversation stops being surface level and starts feeling magnetic. Most men lose that moment because they rush it. They try to impress, to fill every silence with noise, to prove their worth. But what women crave isn't performance, it's presence. When she's giving you her full attention, she's not looking for entertainment. She's looking for emotional safety. She's testing whether you can stay calm in closeness or whether you'll crack under the pressure of connection. The man who can stay centered in that energy stands out immediately. His calm becomes attractive. His presence becomes magnetic. When her attention is yours, slow the pace. Let the silence breathe. There's power in those pauses, because that's where emotional truth lives. In those quiet spaces, she's not listening to your words anymore. She's feeling your energy. And when your energy stays grounded, her attraction deepens. She begins to feel that rare comfort most people never give her, the safety to be fully herself. That's when walls come down, laughter flows easier, and her eyes soften. That's when she starts to feel something real. Don't underestimate how rare this is for her. In a world full of distraction and superficial connection, genuine attention feels sacred. It's what every person secretly craves: to be seen, to be understood, to be emotionally recognized without having to ask. When you give that to a woman, not as a tactic but as truth, she feels it. It's in your tone, your pace, your focus. You're not chasing her, you're connecting with her, and connection is irresistible. If she's giving you her focus, it's because she's opening a door. She's signaling that she feels safe enough to invest her energy in you. Don't look away. Don't let that moment pass. Meet her gaze, match her presence. Speak with warmth, listen with intention, and let her feel that her attention is valued. Because when a woman feels emotionally seen, she doesn't just stay interested, she leans in. And when she leans in, she's no longer waiting for you to prove yourself. She's silently hoping you'll take the lead and turn that attention into something real. When a woman's energy starts to align with yours, the signs begin to multiply. Attraction rarely hides itself for long. It reveals itself in patterns, in the subtle ways she mirrors your behavior, in how her laughter syncs with yours, in how her body naturally moves in rhythm with your energy. One of the most powerful indicators of emotional connection, and it happens subconsciously. Psychology calls it rapport synchronization, and it's the brain's way of building trust. When she mirrors your tone, your gestures, even your breathing pace, it's not a coincidence. It's chemistry being expressed through the body. Her subconscious is saying, I feel safe with you. I trust this connection. But connection doesn't stay still. It plays. When she feels comfortable enough, her energy becomes playful. She teases, she challenges you with light sarcasm or witty comments, not to push you away, but to pull you in. This playfulness is how she tests your composure. She wants to see if you can handle her energy without breaking the rhythm, without taking things too seriously or reacting with insecurity. When she jokes with you, what she's really asking is, can you meet me at my level of confidence? The man who responds with calm humor instead of defensiveness instantly earns her respect. He shows he's emotionally mature, grounded, and capable of leading with ease. Another signal you'll notice is how she starts to self-adjust when she's near you, touching her hair, tracing her lips, adjusting her clothes, or lightly touching her neck. These aren't random movements. They're physiological responses to attraction. When she's drawn to you, her nervous system activates, and her body unconsciously amplifies her femininity. It's not performance, it's instinct. These movements are her body's way of expressing openness, of signaling that she's comfortable being seen by you. Her words also start to carry emotional weight. She remembers the details you share. She asks personal questions. She invests time and thought into conversations that go deeper than surface talk. That's emotional investment, the point where attraction begins to transform into connection. If she's giving you her emotional attention consistently, she's not just being polite. She's creating space for something to grow. What's important is recognizing that these signals aren't meant to confuse you. They're meant to guide you. Women rarely express attraction directly because they want to feel your awareness. They want to know if you can perceive the subtlety, if you can read the energy without her needing to spell it out. It's not a game. It's emotional intelligence in motion. She's testing whether you can move with empathy and confidence at the same time. The mistake many men make is overanalyzing one signal in isolation. They see one smile, one touch, one laugh, and immediately assume interest. Or they ignore all of it out of fear of being wrong. But connection is about patterns, not moments. One glance may mean nothing. But when several signs appear together, when she lingers near you, maintains eye contact, matches your pace, laughs easily, and engages with curiosity, that's not coincidence. That's alignment. You don't need to act impulsively or rush forward. You just need to stay attuned. When you notice these signs, lean into the moment with confidence. Maintain presence. Let the energy between you unfold naturally. Attraction thrives on balance. The balance between awareness and patience, between boldness and respect. These signals are not challenges to decode. They're invitations to lead with integrity. When she mirrors you, when she laughs freely, when her energy flows toward you, it's her way of saying she feels emotionally safe. That's your cue, not to conquer, not to chase, but to connect. If you can sense her openness and match it with calm assurance, you create an emotional environment where trust grows effortlessly. And in that space, hesitation fades, chemistry deepens, and the unspoken connection becomes undeniable. Because once a woman feels understood without having to explain herself, she's no longer waiting for you to make a move. She's silently hoping you will. The truth about attraction is that it doesn't wait forever. When a woman shows you these signs, what she's really revealing is trust. She's giving you permission to lead, to take initiative, to match the energy she's already extended. But this is where many men hesitate, not because they don't feel the connection, but because they're afraid of misreading it. They fear that acting on attraction might make them look too eager or too forward. Yet what they fail to realize is that confidence, when rooted in respect, never comes across as forceful. It comes across as clarity. Making a move isn't about rushing into something physical, it's about stepping into emotional leadership. Women want to feel that they can relax into your energy, that you know what you want, and that you express it with integrity. The courage to act, when the signs are there, communicates maturity. It says you're tuned in enough to sense her openness, but grounded enough to approach it with gentleness. That's the kind of energy that draws her closer, instead of pushing her away. The move itself doesn't have to be dramatic. In fact, it shouldn't be. It's not about a grand gesture or perfectly rehearsed words. It's about presence. It's about the way you hold her gaze just a second longer, how you lean in slightly during a quiet moment, or how your tone softens when you tell her, "I really enjoy being around you." That one sentence, spoken with honesty, can change everything. It creates emotional certainty. It bridges the silent distance between you and gives her permission to feel safe in the connection she's already sensing. Psychologically, this moment is where confidence meets empathy. Research in social dynamics shows that women respond most positively to assertiveness that is emotionally attuned. That means taking initiative without pressure, expressing interest without expectation. When you make your move from that emotional space, you're not trying to take something. You're offering something: clarity, intention, direction. You're showing her that you respect her boundaries while also honoring your own desire. That's balance. That's maturity. A man who hesitates too long sends an unspoken message too, one that says, "I don't trust the connection," or worse, "I don't trust myself." When she senses that, she slowly begins to disengage. Attraction thrives on momentum, and when that momentum is lost, so is emotional excitement. She'll start to protect her heart, to withdraw, not because the interest disappeared, but because uncertainty made it unsafe to stay open. That's why hesitation costs more than rejection. Rejection is temporary, but missed connection, that lingers. You don't need to overthink your next move. All you need is presence and respect. Let your actions be guided by her comfort and your authenticity. If she's showing you openness, if her eyes linger, if her tone softens, if her body language is inviting, then it's time to meet her halfway.